The Johnsons moved into their new home on Willow Creek Lane just 2 weeks before the fall, with golden leaves crunching under their boots. Sarah and Peter Johnson held hands with their 8-year-old son, Ethan, as they stepped into the spacious, century-old house. It was the kind of house that looked like it held stories, creaky floors, ivy-covered bricks, and a strange charm that made Sarah fall in love instantly. He didn't bark, didn't wag his tail much, and didn't even move from the corner of his kennel. But when Ethan approached, the dog gently rested his head on the boy's lap. Ethan, however, missed their old apartment. To ease the transition, Sarah suggested getting a dog, something Ethan had wanted for years. At the local shelter, Ethan connected instantly with a quiet, golden brown retriever mix. They named him Toby. Toby adapted quickly to his new home. The vet confirmed Toby was in perfect health. Sarah even smudged the room with sage, believing it might help. He followed Ethan around silently, always alert, always watching. That first night, the Johnsons noticed something odd. At exactly 3:07 a.m., Toby began barking. Not a playful bark, not a whimper, but a deep, growling alarm directed at the far corner of the living room. Sarah rushed downstairs, half asleep, and found Toby standing stiffly, teeth bared, staring at nothing. "Toby, it's okay," she whispered, a shift in pixels, like a figure trying to appear but failing. He didn't stop barking for 5 minutes. It was their living room, with a dark shadow standing in the corner, a red smear where the eyes should be. By the 5th night, it had become a ritual. 3:07 a.m., bark at the corner. They tried everything: night lights, white noise machines, vet check. In 1964, a man named Harold Eves lived there. Known to be mentally unstable, Harold believed his house was a portal to something that watched. Neighbors reported strange noises, barking dogs, and Harold ranting about protecting the door with blood. They found deep claw marks along the baseboards, though no animal had been inside. It didn't. One night, Peter placed a motion camera in the living room. The next morning, he reviewed the footage. That night, Toby barked furiously but did not enter the living room. At 3:06 a.m., and at exactly 3 hours, 7 minutes and 14 seconds, the camera caught a flicker in the corner. Ethan began talking in his sleep. They chalked it up to stress, until one night Sarah overheard him whispering, "Don't let him in." Not the man in the corner. Startled, she woke him. Ethan had no memory of it. The next day, he showed Sarah a drawing he made at school. Toby was drawn in front of the shadow, barking. Peter dug through county archives and discovered the house had a dark past. Toby stood between Ethan and the corner of the room, his fur standing up, eyes locked on the emptiness. Harold disappeared one night. Police found a pool of blood in the same corner Toby barked at, but no body. The house began to change. Toby now barked at multiple corners. Doors creaked open at night. Lights flickered. One night, Sarah woke up to find Ethan standing at the foot of her bed, eyes closed. "The man in the corner says he wants Toby," he murmured, then collapsed. Peter placed salt across doorways and corners, following advice from an old friend who studied the occult. At 3:07 a.m., all the power in the house went out. At 3:07 a.m., the living room clock stopped ticking for exactly 1 minute. From the baby monitor, they heard a voice, not Ethan's whisper, "Let the dog go." Toby growled louder than ever. Then, silence. Ethan screamed. They rushed to his room. The window was wide open. A red glow began to spread in the corner, pulsing like a heartbeat. Toby lunged. There was a blinding flash, and then silence. The glow vanished. So did Toby. They searched the house, the neighborhood, everywhere. No trace. Ethan never sleepwalked again. The house was quiet, but every night, years later, when Ethan moved out, he took the drawing with him. He still remembers Toby, not just as a pet, but a guardian. Sometimes, when he's alone late at night, he hears a faint bark, always from the corner, always at 3:07 a.m.